evening to you, our viewers. We want to welcome you to the Guyana National Stadium here at Providence. Troy Peters, a veteran in the business, and myself, Franklin Wilson, will be taking you through the next 90 minutes, hopefully, as we witness the return World Cup qualifying game for Russia 2018 between Guyana's Golden Jaguars and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vinci Heat.
Yeah, well, tonight's supposed to be a yellow night with the Guyanese public coming heavily behind the Golden Jaguars as we look to advance to the next round of the World Cup qualifying series. I know we had a 2-all draw. We now have the national anthem. And as soon as we get back, we will continue with our commentary.
Well, actually, it's the FIFA,
The FIFA anthem match.
Troy,
Yes,
you know,
that's
as
right.
the
Oh, yeah, the teams are now coming on, making their way
are
out to the
making their
field.
way onto the Providence Stadium here, where we're going to be witnessing 90 minutes of intense rivalry, because it's a must-win situation for both teams if they would want to advance to the third stage of CONCACAF, what they call the hexagonal qualifying format now. And even as the teams make their way onto the sward, I think, Troy, we can introduce the teams. And perhaps you can start with the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's add some heat to the Vinci.
Yeah, well, certainly we have Winslow McDowell. He is the goalkeeper. And the captain wearing the number 8 shirt is Dorian Hamlet. And Roy Richards is wearing the number 3 shirt. Moran Samuel, he will be wearing number 9. Emerald George, number 17. Reginald Richardson, number 18. Cornelius Short, number 7. Kevin Francis, 15. Jolahoy McDowell, number 16. Oaksley Anderson, number 12. And Tevin Slater, in fact, Anderson is 10 and Slater is 12. But I know Frankie has been traveling with the Golden Jaguars, and I will give him that privilege to introduce the Golden Jaguars tonight.
Well, thank you, Troy. Starting in goal for the home team, we have Akel Coyote Clark wearing number 1. He's the goalkeeper, as we said. Christopher Ronald Nurse, the captain, wearing number 2. Neil Alexander Duns, number 3. Jamal Omari Smith, number 4. We have Colin Nelson, number 5. Walter Andre Moore, number... Nelson is 21. Walter Moore, number 5. Brandon Beresford, number 15. Daniel Wilson, number 11. Emery Welchman, number 10. Samuel Cox, number 2. And Treon Bob, number 20. The national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, that was the national anthem of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we'll now have the national anthem of Guyana. Well, the national anthems of the two teams, and we can safely say that these two teams are evenly matched when we look at results and so on.
Definitely, over the years, the two nations would have been, competing fiercely against each other. But I think now it's a different time, as the new format in qualifying for the World Cup means that it's a home and away tie. and only the winner would advance to the next stage. Having drawn the game 2-2 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Guyana will start with the advantage, scoring 2 away goals. But St. Vincent, as the coach, Mr. Huggins, would have said that they're here for business.
Yeah, well, I want to believe that Jamal Shabazz is also here on business. So we have to expect what we would say a very fierce competition here this evening as we look forward to both teams giving us a good show. And even though the spectators they're now trickling in. You know, they always expect maybe the match to wait in there, but international standards, matches start on time. So at 7 o'clock, we heard the national anthems, and in a short while, we just had the Golden Jaguars wearing the gold, looking very bright here tonight, Frankie.
Well, of course, they're also going to be looking to have a bright result in terms of victory and moving on to the third stage. A number of other countries are in World Cup mode, World Cup qualifying mode as well. And they too will be hoping to go further ahead. But as we said, the first game in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Wednesday last, ending in a 2-all draw, Guyana going ahead on both occasions. Brandon Beresford, midfielder, he scored the first goal for Guyana, and it would have been his first full international for Guyana as well as his first international goal. St. Vincent equalized. Then Ricky Shakes coming on in the second half as a substitute. He put the Guyanese further ahead, and then again the home team came back storming to equalize in that encounter. Cornelius Stewart in the 51st minute, and Tevin Slater, a substitute, in the 80th minute, scoring for Vincent Heat.
Well, when we look at the ranking, the FIFA rankings, Guyana currently at 158, and St. Vincent at, I think, 138. Let me just double check that. But it shows that on the ranking, there's a great disparity. But when we look at both teams, we find that they're evenly matched, and we can really expect a good showing from both sides. Because when we look at it, Guyana would have had 2 wins against St. Vincent, and they would have had 2 wins against Guyana, and 2 draws each. So that's how close
Evenly
they are.
balanced, yes.
Very even.
So I expect a fast-paced game from the Vinci boys. You know, they presented a lot of problems for the Guyanese at home. That was an afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon game. A heavy breeze throughout that encounter. Just off the airport.
The Atlantic Ocean, yes, and the airport to the Atlantic Ocean blowing across, and
right.
the Arnesville ground. Yeah.
Guyana at times kind of timid, but as Coach Jamal said, you know, they will have to take the game to the visitors and to play as if they're home. And the crowd, the proverbial 12th man, will play an integral part in urging the Golden Jaguars on to victory here tonight.
So the Vincentians will have the kickoff. They apparently won the toss. So the Guyana team will be defending what we call the media center end, and the Vincentians, the Vinci Heat, what we would call the pavilion end.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, if we took the Arnesville ground and put it here as we see the kickoff, it would have been the exact way the game started in St. Vincent.
So St. Vincent in possession, and the Guyana number 11 getting the first touch. But the crowd still coming out here. A very cool evening at the Guyana National Stadium as the Vincentians shield the ball nicely, but it looks like Walter Moore, who has taken advantage there and brought down, and the referee going to the spot. In fact, he wasn't too far away and blowing. So Guyana will have their first opportunity at goal, Frankie.
Well, definitely, as you said, you know, the Guyanese would have, the Jaguars would have to play like they're in the jungle and protecting home turf and take the battle to the Vincentians.
Yeah, it looks like Moore will take that free kick, the left footer.
That's right.
And a very efficient man down that left flank. Very known more for his defending, but now was brought up in this new makeup in the Golden Jaguar setup. So he's very effective. I remember seeing him against Grenada, and he looked very lethal in that position.
Yeah, well, you know, one of the good things with having so many persons in contention for spots in the Guyana team is that you have depth now. And I think the back four in Cox, an English-based player, Nelson, Smith, and young Bob, I think it is, gives the coach the opportunity to move around some of the players who are competent in whatever position they're placed in.
So a corner there for Guyana. In fact, one of the defenders, the lanky number 18 there, that's Richardson, scooping the ball over the bar, and it will be Guyana securing the Golden Jaguars the first corner here.
Yeah, looks like Neil Dan's taking the kick for Guyana.
Swerving in nicely. And number 8-3 takes a shot. Looks like it came off the defender. So that time Christopher Nurse, the captain, was free. And right at the top of the box, and that could have been a very anxious situation for the St. Vincent team, Frankie.
Yes, but good covering by the St. Vincent defender in cutting down on the space that Norris had, and he had a touch, and it went into the safe hands of Winslow McDowell, the goalkeeper.
So Welchman and Nurse in contention there, but a long ball there, and getting past the defense and squared up nicely. Oh, and what a blunder there from the Vincent Heat striker. In fact, it went onto his boot, but he just couldn't get it in the goal. That was a very effective left side run there, Frankie.
Definitely, and again, we see the kind of trouble that the Vincent team caused Guyana in the first game, down the flanks and squaring the ball across. And there again, it looks like the Finland-based striker in Cornelius Stewart not being able to control the ball and put it away for the opening goal.
So the Golden Jaguars will have to be more look to see what's happening there, because that was a very easy run through there down the left side. And luckily, that man did not score. In fact, two players were in contention there at one time, both unmarked, and they just couldn't get it at the back of the net. But it's the Vincent Heat in contention once again. Nice taken away there, and the ball going out of play. That looks like Nurse on the left side there, going across and clearing the ball. So the captain seemed to be here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, well, he has to, but I, expect that they will be much more tight in defense, because as we witnessed a few moments ago, the St. Vincent team, they're no easy pushovers, and if you give them the opportunities, they will capitalize. As a matter of fact, on a number of occasions in the opening game, they missed and muffed a lot of chances, and I'm hoping, they're hoping that they will not be doing that this time around.
So the throw came in, headed away there by the man wearing the number 5 shirt, Walter Moore, and it goes out of play for another throw-in there for the Vincent Heat. And another long throw inside the box, and looks like it would be cleared away, but St. Vincent winning it once again, and the ball looked like it will run out of play. In fact, yes, it went out of play very close to the corner flag, so Guyana will take possession there. But quite a start here from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team. Both teams looking to advance to the next round of the World Cup qualifying series, as we call the road to Russia in 2018. And so it is now another throw in there for the Guyana. In fact, it's a free kick. A free kick.
Sam Cox.
So Cox will take that free kick. And Welchman couldn't really gather it properly. But Guyana still battling there for possession. And a back header there as the ball runs free once again, but cleared away. And one there by Cox, who sends down the line there and looking to find, looks like
Neil
Dans. And he got a similar build to Walter Moore. That's why I really had to look, because I wanted to know. It would be a surprise to really see Walter Moore attacking on the right side here, Frankie.
That's right. It means he has a lot of energy and switching around like Captain Nurse. So Cox is taking the throw in for Guyana.
And the long, lanky figure of Winslow McDowell, the goalkeeper of the Vincent Heat team, takes a long kick down the center field and headed away there. And the ball won there by number 18, that's Wilson. But it's Cox with it now, playing down the right defender. Goes back to 11 Wilson. and they're trying to keep possession there as he sends the ball forward to no one in particular, and intercepted there by poor interception, I would say, by Reginald Richardson of the Vincent Heat. A very fast, very quick throw off there as a battle for possession between the two men wearing the number 18 shirts.
Yes, well, again, it went into touch, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Golden Jaguars. Cox again coming up to take that throw for Guyana. Looks and finds Captain Nurse. Nurse back to Cox, but he's in an offside position, so it's going to be a kick for the St. Vincent team.
So the referees, do you know who's really doing the game here this evening? But in fact, we should get that information from Mr. Stanley Lancaster, who is head of referees here in Guyana, but it's St. Vincent and the Grenadines building up down the right side, sends the ball through, and a nice little touch and go there, but the player loses his footing, and Guyana will take possession once again. The ball goes over to number 11, Wilson. He sends the ball forward now, and a nice little build-up there. Number Beresford brought down there just at the edge of the box there. The referee getting to the spot very quickly and issuing a yellow card to number 18, Richardson of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So it will be a free kick at a very dangerous area on the field of play. So the player still on the ground, brought down there, and let's see if the medical team will be called. He looks to be better, yes. He's getting up, a little limp, but that was Dan's that time being brought down. A heavy tackle there.
Beresford, actually, Brandon Beresford, who created lots of problems and actually scored the first goal in the first game in St. Vincent. That was a pretty run down the center, and unfortunately he was brought down before even being able to let off a shot. And we see Walter Moore, number 5, Dan's lookalike.
That's right.
Shaping up to take that kick.
Well, from the angle, that would be an excellent for a left footer.
Yes, and it looks as if, I don't want to call it, I didn't see this movie, but let's see what happens.
Bennett like Beckham. And it just went over the bar. No problems there for McDowell, and brought a little cheer from the crowd there as Guyana trying to get into the mode of things, trying to get possession, try to get more possession.
Get the momentum going.
Get their momentum going, yes. They looked a bit flat there when we saw it run through a short while ago, but they seem to be picking up, especially in the midfield area.
Definitely, as the game matures. And while, of course, the majority of fans would be for the home team, I know for sure there are a few Vincentians in the stands rooting for their team as well.
Well, we would like to welcome them to Guyana as the ball goes down. And then player free there. It looks like number 7 moving down. That's short. And he sends the ball across. And it's just escaped the near post. So another anxious moment there. I am very, very concerned with what I'm seeing here in the Golden Jaguars defense, Frankie.
Well, again, that was cause for concern in the first game, as we said earlier. And we have to get it right, because the Vinci Heat are no pushovers, and they're going to match Guyana step for step, play for play in this encounter. Well,
they're definitely having the advantage, I would say, at this point in time, because they would have had more opportunities at goal. But a nice little clear away there from the defender wearing the number 3 shirt. That's Roy Richards for the Vinci Heat, and a very quick throw in there taken by the Golden Jaguars. Number 3 stepping up to take the throw. In fact, looks like 5. And Guyana still in possession, but the whistle going there from the referee from Jamaica. That's Veldin Legister. And then we have the assistant referee 1, Kedley Powell, and assistant referee 2, Richard Washington, and the fourth official is Carl Terrell, all from Jamaica. So
the land of wood and water.
That's right, reggae land. But it's 18 there with Richardson as the ball goes into center field, and Guyana will try to get a build up here, and 2 players down, but the referee is urging them to play on as the Vincentians send the ball through once again, and the hands up there for an offside, and in fact the assistant referee flag was up immediately, but once again, the Vincentians managed to slip through that defensive wall of the Golden Jaguars.
And again, excellent work by the Finland-based Cornelius Stewart, who plays for PS Kemi in Finland. Our own Walter Moore plays for FF Jaro in Finland. And we see Cornelius doing a wonderful job in slipping the ball through for his teammate to take a shot, but he was unfortunately in an offside position.
Yes, what is happening, we find that the Golden Jaguars, the midfield is clicking on the attack, but they're losing up in defensive mode. We are not seeing them falling back as quickly enough, and that is the problem. So they have to get a little more organized there in midfield, Frankie.
Well, actually, you know, Matthew Briggs, one of the English-based players, should have been, he was initially in the starting 11, but unfortunately some issues with his club in England, we understand, would have put pay to his being a part of the defense here for the Guyanese. But nonetheless, we have to make it right with those players available.
Yeah. So Cox sends the ball forward to Welshman, and it's number 11 with it, sends inside, and a nice 1-2 combination there from Nurse, who sends the ball over now. In fact, it's number 11 there for Guyana, Wilson. And another corner kick there for the Golden Jaguars team. So a nice little run there down the right side, Frankie.
Yes, and the intention is there to see that the Guyanese would have to be forceful. They have to pressure the Vincentians, but at the same time, we'll have to make the opportunities work for us when they're creative.
So we see the man, Colin Nelson, wearing the number 21 shirt, playing central defense for Guyana. And he will have to be marshalling his troops there as the ball comes across and headed into the goal area there by the captain, but it went just outside, in fact, and the keeper, Mark Dowell, was covering there. So not too much of an anxious situation there for the Vincent Heat as they're about to take the goal kick. Number 15, Kevin Francis, the very slim figure for a man playing defense, but he seemed to be the man in control, sends the ball down forward, and once again we're seeing the Vincentians getting behind the Guyanese, which is not a good sign. But they're now in possession close to the halfway line, and the ball goes a nice 1-2 combination, but it won there by, looks like, Moore. That's Dance. So I'm really getting mixed up with these two gentlemen, but through ball there, going a little too wide for number 11, that's Wilson, and just couldn't manage to get on it. Too rich in our local terms here, but it's Welshman being tightly marked, trying to get around his man, and eventually being double teamed, and the Vincent Heat winning possession, and nice at the header there as we see Dan's a nice back heel looking to find Wilson, but it's again in possession once again. The Jaguars on the attack. Dan's over, looked like to Walter Moore, and the ball cleared away there, headed away by the man wearing the number 21 shirt, Wilson, who's playing central defense for the Golden Jaguars. But the Vincies coming down now the left side, and the ball going through now, and squaring once again, and an excellent tackle from Nelson. Colin Nelson there, right on the buzzer there. As soon as the player turned, he was right on the mark, and another strong tackle, but there again, we saw the Vincentian moving through that left side.
Yes, Troy. Nelson had to come back and fight because it was his mistake in defense just now, a bad pass which allowed the Vincentians the opportunity.
And they're a defense error.
An own goal.
That's right, an own goal there, so not a very healthy sight here from our vantage point here, but looks like Moore was the man who went up there
and headed into
his own goal. So the Vincies are celebrating, the Vinci Heats are celebrating, really seeing poor defending there from the Golden Jaguars. They will really have to get their team, their game going here. Not looking comfortable in the first 20 minutes of play, Frankie.
Definitely not looking comfortable. Don't seem to have it right at the back. And that was a classical example where the defender did not know what to do, eventually headed the ball down and into the goal.
Well, the keeper went up. In fact, the ball went through his hands. That's the first thing, because that should have been his stick. Or at least he could have just tipped it over the bar. But he went to actually gather the ball and did not gather cleanly. And the ball went to the man holding the post. And it just slipped through. In fact, he tried to head it and head it into the goal. So the Vincent Heat leading by a goal to nil here. And another shot as this team continues attacking relentlessly on the Guyana defense.
That's right, and as I said before, you know, the Vincentian team just after winning the Windward Islands tournament, so, you know, they played unbeaten in that tournament. We would have played a number of warm-up games. We played against Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, and Suriname. So I don't think we're short of much practice, more or less, but we need to focus and to play as if we...
Well, Charles Clark, it was who came off his line nicely that time and gathering. So the ball now and cleared away by Kevin Francis, the man who is playing the left defense for the Vincent Heat.
Let's hope that Clark's holding the ball there signals a much better period for the Golden Jaguars.
That's right, as the ball goes all the way over to Nelson, who made an excellent tackle a short while ago. Look, very sturdy defense as Moore comes forward now, sends the ball through and squared inside, but no one there to pick it up. We saw number 5, that's Moore going back after making that pass. So no one was on the penalty spot at that time.
Yeah, but good work, good coverage by the defense of St. Vincent and the goalkeeper McDowell.
So the offside flag goes up, and yes, the assistant referee signaling there. So the Vincent Heat will take possession once again. It's Francis who comes forward, sends the ball over now. In fact, he's playing central defense. He was covering just now. He went into that position, and he was in covering that time. But we're not seeing the kind of possession from the Golden Jaguars at this point in time. And once they fail to keep possession, they will put themselves under extra pressure as the Vinci's come forward once again and goes over the line very close to the far corner flag. And a throw-in will be taken, looks like number 3, Roy Richards, who is stepping forward to take in that throw. And in fact, 2 of his throw-ins went right almost to the penalty spot and headed away nicely there by the Golden Jaguars defense. But the whistle going there. In fact, from our point here, we could barely hear the whistle, if at all. So we can only assume that the whistle went that time. But it's the ball going all the way over now to Cox, and he seemed to be having a lot of work. Most of the passes are going through his end, but it's cleared away this time. And St. Vincent will take possession once again. So we have number 15, that's Beresford and Cox. They look very much alike, so it's very difficult to make the players out. But the ball now running free, one there by Dans. Dans inside, takes possession, sends to Beresford. And a nice little build-up there. Wilson in possession with it now, sends back. A nice slow pass, and he's moving inside, but didn't look too promising in that run. In fact, he stepped back instead of going forceful. Something could have happened there, either because the keeper could have made a mistake or the defense, in fact, and he just pulled off. And let the referee blow the whistle if you believe you're in an offside position. Let the whistle blow, but you should attack that particular play.
That's right. Play like a Jaguar. Play like you're playing at home. No need to ease off there. You represented a nation. You have to play to the last drop of your energy.
Yes, so the whistle going once again, and the referee's trying to get the Vincentian players off the ball. Apparently he was made some little unruly play there and was cautioned by the referee. But a little back heel again, and the ball coming through, and the referee will signal just at the edge of close to the penalty arc. And another this will definitely be another anxious moment for the Golden Jaguars, Frankie.
Well, again, the defense of the Guyanese team seems to be in disarray. because some poor work there. It looks like Jamal Smith allowing the Vincentians the opportunity to get possession of the ball in an area when they should not have. And coming back to dispossess the Vincentians, we give up a free kick in a very dangerous area.
So we have a six-man wall there, and it looks like Anderson who will take the kick, and he's shaping up. And so they have to be, there is a man still over the ball shielding it. So a little blunder there in that set play, because he should have been able to move off that ball a little quicker so that the shooter would have been able to get a better shot off. But it's good for the Guyana team, because that particular situation was erased immediately.
Yes, and coming forward now, we have a chance to get the equalizer. You know, they have to come even harder now, finding themselves trailing the Vincentians 1-0.
Well, it's not a case that the two teams didn't play together, but it's now Beresford, it looks like, sends inside looking to find Walter Moore too, but he was under pressure there. In fact, it was Treon Bob, a man who we haven't recognized so far in this match, now coming into the picture a bit. And because he seemed to be playing a more defensive role, so he was that time on the attack. So that was
actually with Briggs not being available, Moore fell back to the left back position, and Bob is playing the left midfield position for Guyana.
Okay, so another through pass there, and it seemed to be splitting the Golden Jaguars defense a lot, especially they're just pulling them and sending the ball through. So the Guyana defense really would have to keep a close eye on that particular play. They're down by 1-0, as we're just about half an hour into this match, and about 28 minutes or so, and a throw-in to be taken by the man wearing the number 16 shirt for the Vincy Heat. That's McDowell, and a back header by the man wearing number 12, Slater. But it's now going all the way back to Clark, and didn't do much with it. And Wilson seen the ball going over the line, and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team will take the throw-in. They lead by 1-0, and we would really, in fact, the crowd coming out here to cheer on the Golden Jaguars will be looking to see that team get onto the scorecard at least before the halfway mark.
Well, you know, in the first game, Guyana enjoyed a 1-0 advantage up until the 51st minute before the Vincentians equalized. And I don't know if we'll have to wait that long to see the Guyanese equalizing, but we need to be much more punchy up front, solid in midfield, and tight in defense.
So the ball now going over the line, and it'll be a throw-in for the St. Vincent team. It's McDowell, the other McDowell in the team. The other one is the goalkeeper, who will take the throw-in down the left side. And the ball now running free. And the beauty is that the Golden Jaguars have two very tall central defenders there. So, but it's just what is happening there, being penetrated through the flanks and creating a lot of problems there. But it's now the ball with Moore, who makes not too much of a good pass, the ball going out of play, and Samuel will take the throw in there for the Vincy Heat, and he sends the ball now. The ball comes inside, and the whistle going there for an infringement call on the St. Vincent and Grenadines team. So Moore comes down wearing the number 5 shirt, sends it down the line looking to find Welchman, but he was out-muscled there. Not too much of a tall player, but the ball now running free. Nice intercepted there, but couldn't keep it in play. Cox that time made a nice little interception there. It would have been an excellent play had he been able to pass it down the flank there. But Nurse comes off back into the thick of things there for the Golden Jaguars. He needs to get his defense organized, and he has now stepped back a little bit more, but it's a little back heel attempt there as it's cleared away, and it goes now to Welchman, who shields the ball but finds himself under pressure, and it's tipped off there by McDowell, and it will be Cox who will take the throw in. He sells it down the line and cleared away by number 18, Reginald Richardson. So Guyana will be looking to pull one back now. This is a very critical stage in the first half, and they really need a goal to get this crowd energized, Frankie.
Definitely, and the crowd too, you know, we're accustomed to seeing the crowd not really, as we see Beresford fighting there for possession, but number 17 for the Vincies, Emerald George, moving forward as the Vincentians once again look promising in their attack.
You see, once again, they were behind the Guyana defense. So, again, that another error there, but it looks like Beresford who clears the ball away, and it will be a throw-in for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team. So we still having problems with the defense, and I am sure that Coach Shabazz will have a very strong talk at the end of the first half, because we can see it here, and the ball going now, running free, and St. Vincent still in possession, very close to the box. So even that, and a shot taken there, and a little bubble there from the goalkeeper. So it looks like the Golden Jaguars look like a team playing on foreign turf.
That's right. Not holding their own, and you know, not settled. Going on 37 minutes in the first half and trailing 1-0.
So McDowell will take a free kick, and you see a player free there once again. No one is marking number 17. So once they get it built up there, and looks like the ball now comes inside, another player free on the left flank. So that's where we get in the problem, and he's trying to get around Cox, and it will be a goal kick signal by the assistant referee, and that run there thwarted by the defense player Cox that time. But the defense definitely not clicking here in this first half.
Well, the entire team, as a matter of fact, Captain Nurse will have to really take charge and get his troopers settled and up to the task.
There it goes again, and this could be very good save there from the goalkeeper, but the bench here for St. Vincent and the Grenadines felt that there should have been a whistle there for that infringement because the striker was pulled back, but the referee felt that he may have had the advantage and allowed the play to go on. But the Vincentians not too happy about that, but they got the shot off, but it was a weak shot, and eventually Clark got his hand to it and made the save, because there was a man lurking right in that area too, and unmarked.
Definitely, and as you said before, we were playing like if we were in foreign territory, not holding our own, not playing a commanding game, and allowing the visitors to dictate the maneuverings.
So with this kind of heavy midfield presence, we have Wilson playing midfield, Beresford playing midfield, Moore playing midfield, Nurse playing midfield, and even Bob, who has really come into that midfield, and yet we're not having that kind of coordination, because the ball seems to be passing through very easily and putting a lot of pressure, because they're not marking as close as they should, and there are a lot of spaces, and what the Vincentians are actually doing is just playing the 1-2 combination and leaving the Guyanese strikers, defenders and midfielders flat-footed. But it's now Richardson, and the captain now sends the ball through, and a little left side build up there, and the ball swerving nicely there and taking no problem there for Clark. He sends the ball now to Moore down the left side. That's Bob, it is, And the ball now goes over to Nurse. And let's see what will be the captain's play here. He sends the Cox back to Nurse. Nurse over to Beresford. Beresford through, and the Welshman, won there once again by the captain. He sends the ball forward. Welshman tries a little pass with his chest. But it's now with Beresford, and it's now Wilson. And the tackle there. But this is an opportunity for Dance, and it hits the post and ricocheted back in play. So that is very unfortunate for Dance, and he takes a second attempt at goal and draws a corner this time. But that was very unfortunate. The keeper was beaten all ends up, and the ball struck the
inner post
and rebounded back into play. Very unfortunate there for Dance, or Guyana, the Golden Jaguars, would have been tying this match at this point in time.
Well, actually, prior to that shot being taken, we saw a very good period of play where we string together about 8 passes. And on the back end of that, the shot was taken by Dance. Unfortunately, it hit the inner post and rebounded back into play. And even though he got back possession and tried another shot that was a little soft, that, the defender headed over the crossbar for a corner. The corner was taken, and we're back into play.
Well, it all started from the captain. In fact, there was a nice little build-up just over the halfway line. The play really started from there with Cox and the captain and Beresford and Dance. We saw the kind of combination that is really needed in the Golden Jaguars artillery here to get back into this game. But once again, the Vincentians gaining possession, and number 7, who goes around his man short, but he loses possession, and Nurse takes possession now, sends it to Wilson. Wilson now moving down, and he sends over now to Welchman, who is moving inside. And he's signaling for a corner, and it's a goal kick. It actually came off the boot of Welchman. Couldn't keep the ball in his possession, and it went over the line for a goal kick to be taken by the lanky figure of Kevin Francis.
Yeah, but what the past 2 minutes of play would have showed is that if we're a little patient, we hold possession, things can happen.
That's right. We need to have more midfield possession. They need to keep the ball a little bit more. I believe sometimes we're trying to get the ball up too quickly, like in this particular play, because Welshman is double teamed. So let us get a little more build up inside and then move up with waves and then come back with waves. But if we send that ball through, he loses it, we lose possession and give the opposition that opportunity. That's right.
Yeah. Once we hold possession, we'll be able to create the chances.
I believe we have the amount of midfields to really keep possession. And Clark comes off his line. It looks like he almost went over. That would have been a little unfortunate thing for a goalkeeper to be called. And his shot there was weak. Looks like a handball there from number 8 for St. Vincent, the captain Hamlet.
Yeah.
That's
Both
right.
Captains are wearing number 8.
So Nurse, well, he leaves the ball now for Nelson to come up and take the kick. Play the captain, that's right, he does. And that's the kind of possession we need. He was even hesitant to even make that particular pass, but the captain left it for him to pass it so that he could start the play from that particular spot. But Nelson once again, who sends outside, and it looks like Bob who sends the ball forward now, and Welchman, Dans, and Dans once again, the man who had an opportunity not so long ago and being out muscle there, but it's now with Beresford who takes a shot and came off the body of one of the Vincentian players, and 2 players on the ground injured. One apparently
was fouled. A referee signaling a free kick for the Golden Jaguars.
So Cox brought down there, and the referee signaling. So this looks good, very promising for the Guyana team from what we've been seeing for the past 2 or 3 minutes. The ball comes over now and got it there, and even that shot.
The referee already signaling a foul on the goalkeeper there.
And the shot that was taken belatedly went out. Went wide. So far away from an open goal.
That's right. And the crowd, for one moment, was anxious. But we'll have to come again, fight on, as we seek, the Guyanese seek the equalizer. St. Vincent and the Grenadines won. Guyana have to score.
Yeah, so we're inching down to the halfway mark in this match with the Vincentians leading by a goal to nil. And Wilson now moving forward. I wonder if there's any relation to the Wilson that is sitting next to me.
No relation.
No relation.
Yeah.
But
I actually have a son by the name of Daniel Wilson as well.
Okay. So Cox it is who will take the ball inside for a free kick. And the referee telling him to take it back, take it back, take it back, take it wide. This is
it's a good period of play for the Golden Jaguars, and they're fighting hard for the equalizer, which will put a different spin on proceedings here.
So the ball coming around there. We have some tall men in the play there, but it looks like Bob, who comes forward now, sends the ball over to Beresford. Beresford all the way over to Wilson, who thought that once again he was in an offside position and did not go through for the run.
Yeah, but Beresford had Cox wide open here in midfield and should have passed the ball there.
Yeah, that's what we're saying, that we need to see a little more midfield build-up here from the Golden Jaguars as they throw in McDowell, who sends the ball forward there. And the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team in possession now. And player down, but it's one there by Nurse. And he's looking to find Wilson. Wilson seemed to be totally at sea here for the past few minutes in this match. And a little flick there from the captain did not find his man because he had already pulled off. So
that's right. When he should be going wide, he's cutting into the game. So you're not giving the captain any option. So
Wilson, there are a lot of little issues here that needs to be ironed out as we approach the halfway line of half-time. Not the halfway line, but half-time here with 4 to 5 minutes of play, and cleared away there by Nurse. And the ball is now running free, so the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team, Welshman now, takes the ball nicely on his chest, passes it over now to Wilson. This man owes us a goal. And he sends over now to Cox, who is overlapping. Squares inside nicely. And it's out of there. Excellent play there. Excellent. That was a perfect play. And as I did say, Wilson owed us something. And he did deliver. That was an excellent cross.
Pass to Samuel Cox. And Cox squared the ball and found Emery Welshman just in the right position. Welshman rose above the defense and headed the ball into the uprights. Equalizer for the Golden Jaguars.
Well, you see, we've noticed now the midfield plays and the Golden Jaguars keeping more possessions here. So, and they've been rewarded for this. So, it's good to see them now taking possession of this game, and we're seeing them being rewarded for it.
Definitely. That's Welshman scored actually in his debut game for Guyana on the 1st of February in Barbados. And now, when it mattered, he rose, he climbed there above the defense of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines side.
He's not a tall man. Yes, not a tall man. And the man who was actually shielding him was Kevin Francis, who was a very tall figure. Yeah, very tall figure.
Yeah. Excellent work by the Guyanese, and it shows again, if you're patient, you pass the ball around, you will be able to create the chances.
Well, another set there. Here. Oh, and they have scored. So another blunder there for the Golden Jaguars after scoring not so long ago, less than 2 minutes. The Vincentians came back once again, slipping that defense and scoring their second goal here. So it looks like once this game continues like this, we might have 5 goals each, Frankie.
Well, there again, perhaps the Jaguars still in celebratory mood, not focusing I think they were a bit slow to get back for the start of the restart of play after we scored. And again, the lack of proper defending, lack of tightness at the back allowed the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team to come forward. Poor goalkeeping again, and they were able to score. Going ahead once again.
So there it is again. You see, there is a lot of spaces there, and all the Guyana midfielders and defenders marking no one in particular. So the Vincentians are just passing the ball through them and getting the opportunities at goal. So as you can see, at that time you should be seeing a kind of man-to-man press, but nobody's coming forward. And there's a player running free there again, and the Vincentian team will gain possession. So it's definitely not the kind of defense that we would like to see from a team playing at home, a team that needs to advance to the next round of the World Cup qualifying series, and they will definitely have to get their act together in the second half. So St. Vincent and the Grenadines will take the free kick, and the man with a little fancy hairstyle there, wearing the number 9 shirt, Myron Samuel. And he's shaping up to take the free kick. And the wall is not even properly organized. The clock seems to be in no man's land. And the shot comes in and just misses the upright. So the crossbar. So there again, there should have been a four-man wall there, but Cox found himself in no man's land. I don't know what he was intending to do in that particular position.
Perhaps it's a strategy.
Well, we would have to see if it would work the next time, but it's not what we would say the regular football tactic, especially as a defense player. But it's now Nurse who sends the ball back to Walter Moore, who has dropped back into the left back position. And Bob now, it looks like, who sends the ball over now to Beresford. Beresford looking to find Welchman. And two players down there as the referee signals for the play to continue. But intercepted once again there from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And there is a player free again. By the time that player goes around, he gets around his man and squares it. And it looks like cleared away by the defender. So there it is again. And the Vincentians are attacking both flanks, left and right.
I
and
told you already that their pace
yes,
is going to create
very,
problems
very,
for
very
the
fast.
Jaguars.
Yeah.
You know, they're working the flanks and throwing the ball over.
So we need to see a little tightening up there for this particular corner. Number 17 going forward to take the. That's Emerald George, a man we haven't been seeing much in this match, and he will take a left foot kick. As we inch closer to halftime. But Cox seemed to be jumping there, Cox and Walter Moore, two very short men holding the post for Guyana. So they will really have to make height, a height like Welchman did just now to score the goal for Guyana. But it's Bob who is coming forward there. I think he should wait for some support. There's only two men up there, Dans and send the ball, let's keep possession, right? It's over now to Wilson. Wilson with it now, moving forward. And Cox on the left side, a nice little pass over to Cox, who sends in. And good effort there, going tantalizingly close. So it's a corner kick there, and 2 minutes of time added on here in the first half. So we're now winding down there. So a little tip there from the goalkeeper. The ball was going tantalizingly close to the post. In fact, heading to goal, and it was tipped away there from McDowell, the goalkeeper. And he cuffed the ball there, and it will be another kick. In fact, one of the Guyanese strikers there getting a yellow card. I don't know if it's Dan's, but the goalkeeper is still down with just about a minute or so remaining before the whistle goes. So we might have a little more time added on, as they will take some time to ensure that the goalkeeper is in a proper state to continue playing the match.
Definitely, you know, but it's summing up the first half with good periods briefly for the Golden Jaguars, but it would have been St. Vincent and the Grenadines half The Golden Jaguar showed what they can do if they're a little more patient and, you know, put together passes. We have the players, we have the arsenal to really put pressure on the St. Vincent team. But we need to be much more patient. We need to tighten up in defense.
Well, when we can see a man like Baltimore being outrun here, it tells the kind of pace that the Vincentians are really moving with. Because, in fact, Moore is being outrun. And he's a very quick player, both in attack and defense.
Yes, well, you know, they are credited with being a very quick and pacey team, and we're seeing it on show here tonight. I know in the Windward Islands tournament, head coach Jamal Shabazz would have went down there to view that tournament, and he came back and said the same thing. It's a very quick and pacey team, but we will have to devise a plan in the final 45 minutes to
Conquer that.
counter that.
So play will resume, and the referee now calling play to resume. The ball now comes forward there from Francis, and
It's a
it's Guyana handball, and Guyana will take possession. Nurse sends over now to Walter Moore, and Moore back inside there, and cleared away by Nelson. And Bob trying to get around his man. The whistle going once again. There was a handball from the defender, as we should be just seconds away from the halftime whistle. So the ball slipping through there, squares inside, but
The keeper not being able to grasp it and slipped over the line, so it's going to be a corner for the Golden Jaguars.
That's
Quickly
it.
taken, but that's the end of the first period, first 45 minutes.
So a very good half there for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team, leading by 2-1. In fact, we have seen the problems there. The defenders for Guyana not really holding tight. And even when they scored, they allowed the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team to come back and score almost immediately. So there will be a lot of talking in the dressing room here in the first half, and we look forward to another exciting period in the second half ranking.
Definitely Troy. Okay, we're now about to witness the second half of this encounter. It's a 2-1 game in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we're off. This is the second half of this all-important FIFA World Cup qualifying match towards the Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup. As we said, St. Vincent and the Grenadines are trailing the Guyanese, are leading the Guyanese rather 2-1. And Guyana made a substitution just before they start. Number 11 came out, that's Daniel Wilson, and taking his place, number 14. Ricky Shakes, scorer of the second goal for the Guyanese in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Guyana now attacking the media center end and looking in the first instance to get the equalizer, and then perhaps going on to win this encounter. If the game ends 2-2, we will go into extra time because we must have a winner. Only the winner would be advancing to the third stage of CONCACAF qualifying for the 2018 FIFA World Cup, Russia.
Yeah, so Shakes back into the side here in the second half, and we should expect him to spin some magics as the whistle going there. So Guyana will take possession once again, and the captain stepping up there, Nurse, and in fact he's calling now on the man wearing the number 21 shirt, Nelson, to take the kick, and he sends over now to Bob. Bob give a nice little shuffle there, but loses possession as the Vincentian comes forward, and the ball through, and Clark quickly off his line and clear the ball, and it now goes back to Bob. So another bad communication there by the Golden Jaguars team. The ball just seemed to be getting through that defense, but they had going up there for number 14. So we're into the second half with the Vincent leading by 2-1, and Cox will take the throw-in, and he finds Beresford, but he loses his footing, and the ball now comes away. So Guyana trying to regroup after allowing 2 goals to pass in the first half. Well, it's Guyana in possession now, and dance to Cox. Cox over once again, and Welchman, but comes off his head. And a penalty, it looks like the referee signaling to the spot there, a penalty. Welchman being fouled right on the penalty spot, and a yellow card also being issued there, it looks like, to Kevin Francis. And it will be Guyana getting the opportunity, the Golden Jaguars, to equalize here. But the man on the ground, Welchman, who scored the first goal for Guyana, went up once again and was brought down by an infringement. And so the medical personnel going onto the field now as both players from both teams look around anxiously, and it's definitely a penalty when all this is over.
Well, this is the opportunity now for the Golden Jaguars to even things up. And again, Welchman in the right place at the right time and showing that aggression when it is needed and being able to effect and win for his side a penalty. Beresford, it looks like, who was down.
But it looks like Dance who is shaping up to take the penalty.
To take the kick. So here is hoping that Dance can put it away and equalize for the Golden Jaguars. As I said, both teams, they will have to win in order to move ahead.
So a lot of responsibility being left on the shoulder here of Dance, an experienced player, and he will have the opportunity to equalize here for Guyana. And the St. Vincent and the Grenadines goalkeeper, Winslow McDowell. In fact, he is just bouncing around a little on the spot as we await the referee to blow his whistle.
Yes, and all the experience that Dan has playing for Bolton Wanderers would be needed here.
And it's a very powerful shot. McDowell had no opportunity of getting close to that ball, and it went right in and brought this crowd alive. They really needed something.
Came to the right post.
Really needed something to spark the crowd here, and they're behind this Golden Jaguars team once again.
When he dived, the ball was already on its way out after hitting the crossbar.
Yeah, it's a very, very clinical shot, and that's the kind of experience that Neil Dance has. So wearing the number 18 shirt and scoring there. So Welchman scoring 1 and Dan scoring 1, and the Guyana, the Golden Jaguars, can move on from here.
Well, I'm sure that during the halftime, Jamal Shabazz would have been very, very stern with them. And we can see straight off the kind of attitude now that they're showing in this game.
So they're on the attack once again, and the ball coming down now, headed away there by Cox, and it goes all the way over. And Bob trying to gain possession, but loses out as both teams battling for possession here. So it's real purpose here now to gain the upper hand now. It's level even, it's even Steven, as we see, and Guyana will take possession this time just about the halfway line, and the referee, Mr. Legister from Jamaica, and the captain now for the Guyana team sends the ball over to Nelson, number 4, that is. For Guyana, that's Smith, Jamal Smith, the defender, and the ball running free. So it's Francis who will take the kick, the goal kick. and he sends it long down the center of the field, headed away there by Smith, Jamal Smith, and it's cleared away by Nelson that time to Bob, but eventually won there by Beresford. The whistle going there, Bob went up and fouled one of the Vincentian players. So the St. Vincent team, with all the Guyanese now in defense, and they're definitely showing a little more seriousness here as Bob now sends over now to Moore. Ball comes down to Dance and cleared away. A very long ball going tantalizingly into the Guyana goal area, but Clark was quickly off his line, and he's now urging the players to go forward as he's about to take a throw forward and finds number 14, that's Shacks, and the ball now coming down to Cox, who sends the ball over and cleared off the line, and it will be a corner kick there for the Golden Jaguars team.
Definitely, the kind of urgency that we're seeing here in the attacking third is what we should have been seeing since the first half of play. And, you know, it would have brought a corner for the Guyanese. Once again, it looks like Walter Moore going up there to take that kick for the Guyanese, urging his teammates to go into the bar, headed over the crossbar by Jamal Smith into touch, so it's going to be a goal kick awarded to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
So one substitution made by Guyana so far in this match, with Wilson coming out, the man who was having problems on the striking line, seemed not to be timing his run properly, and McDowell coming off his line there and covering nicely and takes a right foot kick all the way down in Guyana's half. With St. Vincent still in possession there, and the player running free once again and cleared away eventually by Nurse. But it's St. Vincent still in possession, and Bob coming forward, but these guys seem to be very cheeky, and once again getting around his man is number 17 and over, but the player's in an offside position. So the Vincentian team definitely getting behind the Guyana defense.
Well, expect a very intense, let's say about 35 minutes or so to go in this encounter, because as I said before, it's a must-win situation for both teams, Guyana and St. Vincent. Only the winner will advance, so it's going to be intense, and the better of the two teams will come out victorious.
Yes. So Clark it is, sends the ball forward, and ball now going through to Welchman, but cleared away there by Francis. As St. Vincent comes away now down the right side, sends the ball inside now, and another blunder there by Jamal Smith, but eventually he comes back and wins it for Guyana. So Welchman with it now, sends over now to Bob, and he throws it inside there, and number 14 loses his footing, shakes, and another corner called there by the referee.
So excellent work here again by the Guyana players. Ricky Shakes, Treon Bob, throwing it over. Shakes not being able to control fully, but he was able to put the ball onto St. Vincent defender, and it went into touch, and we got a corner. So Walter Moore again.
Walter Moore with the left footer, and twirling nicely inside there, but eventually going free, and the referee will signal a goal kick. So it's now even at 2-2, and the crowd has built up nicely since the first half, but we expected a much larger crowd here. But the crowd that is on has certainly been behind the Golden Jaguars team in their quest to advance to the next round of the World Cup qualifying competition. And there again, looks like Clark loses footing, but the ball is now with Bob, who sends inside now to Dance, and couldn't hold it. And there again, St. Vincent and the Grenadines scoring. And it's unbelievable how flat-footed the defense was at that time, Frankie.
Again, you cannot be complacent behind in the defensive third. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines would have been able all night long to capitalize on the weak nature of Guyana's defense. Yet again, it would have been visible there.
So I did see how the games are going. If Guyana score again, it looked like we're going to get 5 goals each.
Well, and the Guyanese are coming from behind all along. So they will have to equalize and hopefully go on to win this game. But there is no room for complacency as we've been seeing. The St. Vincent team is a very, very good team.
So celebrations all around there for the St. Vincent team. And the man, Tebbins Slater, was the scorer that time. Went up, very tall player, and sent the ball behind the back of the net. But Guyana trying to regroup there, coming from their own half. The Golden Jaguars, the ball comes forward, and the Dans now being marked, double-teamed, and the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team winning the possession. But a nice little interception there from Bob wearing the number 20 shirt. And it will be a throw-in for the Vinci team, the Vinci Heat.
Slated was who scored the equalizing goal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines that brought the game to 2-2 scoreline in the first game. So he's in the mix once again, giving his side now the go-ahead goal.
Yes. So more quickly it is captain who sends the ball forward, but to nobody in particular. And another throw in there for Walter Moore. And he sends the ball now down. And the ball is now running free. Tackle there from number 21, Nelson, the man who is sweeping. And it will be a throw-in for the St. Vincent to the Grenadines team. So still not looking, in fact, we're not seeing the kind of close marking in this particular half of the field. And we would expect at this time to see very tight marking. Even Welchman has come down inside and played away there by Bob. Only one player up, that's Dans, and went up earlier than expected. Couldn't keep the ball in play, and it went over for a throw-in. So Guyana will really have to regroup. They're down by 3-2, but it's cleared away there by Walter Moore. We're not seeing the midfield possessions again, but it's cleared away now by Nurse. Let's see Beresford with it now. He sends forward and shakes over now to Cox. Cox back inside to Beresford, but it's Shakes who takes possession, loses his footing, and the referee signaled in favor of the Golden Jaguars. So the ball coming inside now. One man there, the target, with 4 defenders there for St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the goalkeeper. So we're not getting the support inside either. So they're not following the play as they should, but it's the keeper coming off his line. And we'll send the ball over now to Jamal Smith wearing the number 4 shirt. But it's now Cox fighting hard to get. In fact, he had possession and loses it as the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team comes away once again. The ball is now with number 10. That's Anderson, who sends over to the left flank. And there you see number 12 almost free, right in the box. So that's what we're actually seeing, a shot coming in there. So very poor marking from the Golden Jaguars team, Frankie.
We need to see a high level of urgency in the remaining moments of this match from the Golden Jaguars. We're allowing too much space to the opposition in the final third. And I am sure, I know for a fact that we have the weaponry to stand up to the Vincentians, but we just need to play in our positions and play hard.
So the ball now going through there, and it's too far forward for Shakes, the second half substitute. But Guyana will get a throw-in, and the Cox will move forward there to take the throw-in. So he passes back to Beresford. Beresford sends inside there, and Bob, and it's running free. And Dans, who had the opportunity there, came outside of his boot, and oh, he was right on the money there, Frankie, to equalize here.
As close as you can get.
As close as you can get, in an empty goal too.
A teaser, that was a teaser.
So,
but at least we were able to get a corner kick.
Yes. Cox once again, it's coming inside there. It runs all the way back to the man who took the corner kick. And he sends inside now to Bob. And Bob throws it inside. And the header. No one is there. In fact, a little late move there by Welchman. Or that would have definitely been an opportunity there for Guyana. But the keeper was covering in that particular area. But it's Guyana taking possession once again. And they're applying some kind of pressure here, and once they keep the pressure on this side, anything can happen. That's how the first goal was scored. So once you apply pressure, you can get your opposition to, their whole game could collapse. So let's see what will happen if Guyana will maintain this pressure and get the equalizer. They're down again. In fact, they are coming from behind. They have some time as the ball comes all the way down. And there it is. The referee blowing for an infringement, and is calling for the medical team immediately. The player went down very hard. And
well, we've seen quite a number of goals, 5 in this match so far. We saw 4 in the first game, so 9 goals. That's a lot of goals in a World Cup qualifier.
Yeah, well, we did say from the inception that these two teams are even Steven, so they're living up to the bill here tonight. It's only that we're a little concerned about what the Jaguars should be doing to make things better for them. Definitely. In fact, it's not that the team is much better, but they're not holding the defense as we would expect them to in this critical World Cup qualifying match. But we now have, looks like a 7-man wall there.
Almost the entire Guyanese team.
And the shot coming there, it will be a corner for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team. But the busybody man, Kevin Francis, is here, there, and everywhere. He came up to be close to that kick. And he's the man playing in the central defense position for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. If you look at how closely the Vincentians are marking Dans, the ball is in Guyana's goal mouth, and they're still keeping very close tap on him. They know he's a very dangerous player, and that's the kind of marking we should be seeing from the Golden Jaguars. But the kick now is coming across and headed away, and it will go over the line for
throwing
to St. Vincent and the Grenadines once again. I think it came off the head of one of the Yes, it came off the head of one of the Guyanese players, and the captain Hamlet will take the throw-in.
Yeah, well, you can almost hear a pin drop in the stadium right now.
And the ball is now running free again. Goal! Oh. That is a scorcher.
Phenomenal
and there
goal.
Again, any player there with that amount of space, the defense should be shot. Because that was in fact, 2 players were there unmarked, and he had enough time to take the ball and give the bicycle kick. And we can see some people already moving their way out of the stadium. This is not good for the Guyana fans. That was very, very loose defense once again. I don't know, maybe I will have to go there. We have to get a team to go there to tighten this defense. But definitely a player as close as the penalty spot should be.
Closely marked.
Closely marked.
way too much of room for him to pull off that kind of shot. Backpedaling, or a relic as we would say. So it's now a 4-2 game in favor of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you know, which makes it much more difficult for the Golden Jaguars. They're in possession, and St. Vincent not letting up, coming ahead full steam. Dan's being brought down there, midway into the St. Vincent half of play. On Bob for Guyana, and he loses possession, so it's going to be a throw into the Vinci Heat. A lot of heat here from the Vinci team tonight, Troy.
Yes, well, the Jaguars seem to be going into a silent mode here, and the crowd itself, they've taken the fight out of the crowd, because after the third goal, yes, we expect the Jaguars to at least get an equalizer, but the Vinci Heat, the team has gone 2 goals up now, and fighting more in getting possession and to move forward more into this match. So the tally has increased 1 more.
That's right, and even if the Guyana team are able to equalize on the away goal rule, St. Vincent and the Grenadines will go ahead, yes. Yeah. But here's hoping that at least they can do that. But it's going to be a lot of work to score 3 goals in terms of winning this encounter 5 goals to 4.
Yes, we need a little more responsibility, and there's a bit of shoving there at the side, but the referee quickly going across, and it's now Beresford.
No, Guyana wanted to gain the advantage by starting back the play quickly, but the referee would have none of that.
So Smith takes the ball over to the right side, and the ball is not going to anyone, but the captain wins it now, and let's see if he will be patient enough. Not a bad pass there. We're not getting the midfield build-up. It's not that we're trying to be critical of this team, but we're seeing all the faults from our end here and what is needed to bring the Jaguars back into this game. And throw in there from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines. In fact, the ball coming forward, and there again, another no confidence there from the defenders.
Yes, it looks like Nelson then not showing the level of calmness that he should have been displaying. And, you know, it's a tall mountain for the Golden Jaguars to climb at this juncture, trailing St. Vincent and the Grenadines 4 goals to 2. So the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team now taking possession once again. And for a goal, for a free kick. So the crowd certainly stunned here this evening, and they were looking for something special from the Golden Jaguars. And let's hope with the time remaining, we will definitely get something special. But it's Walter Moore, the ball going under his boot, and it's a good thing he wins it back. And he's coming forward now, tackle coming in there. So the Vincentians are really carrying it heavy here in the second half. Well, and even as the game continues, we see that the Golden Jaguars are about to make a change. Number 7, Marcel Barrington, a 19-year-old out of England, 6'2". He will be coming on shortly to replace, we don't know who as yet. It looks number 20 is coming out. Treon Bob and Marcel Barrington taking his place here as the Jaguars are in search of goals, nothing less. So it's now Beresford, and Welshman now takes possession, finds Dance. It's a little knock there. The captain not looking confident at all here. Another blunder there from Nurse. And St. Vincent and the Grenadines. See, Once again, the defense caught napping. Luckily, the referee
Called the playback.
That's right, because it would have certainly been an interesting situation there, which could very well have been another goal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Captain Christopher Norris not looking solid in midfield, bad pass twice, giving up the advantage to St. Vincent, but as we said, luckily the ref called the playback. Barrington now in possession for the Golden Jaguars moving forward. The ball going into touch, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Jaguars, quickly taken by Walter Moore. Barrington trying to get in the ball to Welchman. It looks like the ball gets into Beresford with a shot, but not settling as fast as he should have, and giving up possession there to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, he got an awkward bounce that time. In fact, it looked like it was coming directly on his chest, but then it popped up, and he just couldn't get it under control to get a shot off.
Well, it's crunch time more or less for the home side, having to claw their way back, going down 4-2 at the moment. The momentum is certainly with St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Welchman.
See, the midfielders are not getting up there as fast enough, so there's very little support. So one man, it looked like Shakes, will have a lot of work to do. He sends the ball over now, and it's now with the Barrington, and the ball now goes to Nurse. So Guyana seem to want to get something back here, and Shakes inside once again, and Dance, in fact, instead of getting the ball into the goal area, sent it back out. But still Guyana in possession as Cox comes forward now, and his attempt to send it across was intercepted there by McDowell for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Cox will take the throw-in, and looking for players now. Everybody now seems to be moving inside, and the throw-in cleared away, but one there by Walter Moore, who sends inside to Beresford, and it didn't turn as fast as he should. And Barrington, Guyana will take the throw-in. It's Moore coming forward, and looking to find Barrington. Barrington makes himself available, and Moore moves inside now. We should be seeing a lot more of Moore as we need to get the advantage going. Nice little Shakes, made an attempt, and Welchman. In fact, the player lost his foot in there, and Welchman tried to recover, but that was a golden opportunity there for him.
Yes, my take is that he should have shot.
Yeah, he had a shot.
Taken a shot from right there, you know, rather than trying to turn.
So Barrington looking a little stiff. In fact, he needs to loosen up a little bit more. He's just come onto the field, but he seemed to be a little too tight, as we would say. And the ball is now with him now. Let's see what is going to happen. Makes a bad pass, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines comes away. Number 10, Anderson, is now won there by Barrington once again. He loses possession, but Beresford with it. And now with Walter Moore. Walter Moore trying to get around two men. Well, this is what the Vincentian bench is appealing here as Dance tries to get around his man, falls, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines gets up and moves forward now, and the ball is now on the left side, the ball going forward, and the player will not get it, so Guyana will take a throw-in. Look like Jamal Smith, who will step forward, sends inside now to Nelson. Nelson comes away with it, moving very slow at the moment, sends the ball forward. And the keeper's there, and it looks like it will be a goal here. Goal for Guyana. Welchman once again. And similar to what has been happening to Guyana all evening, We found the same thing happening to the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team. The keeper came off his line. There were 2 players in attendance, and the ball just evaded them, and the Welshman was able to lob it into the goal. So goal number 3 for Guyana, and the tally keeps climbing.
Well, brilliant thinking by Welshman, you know, in lobbing the ball over the keeper into a wide open goal. The keeper and 2 defenders were caught napping, and Welshman capitalized on that and was able to score the 3rd goal for the Golden Jaguars. But they're still trailing 4-3 in this all-important encounter here against St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's Barrington in possession for Guyana going forward. Urged on by the crowd. Beresford. Throw in was trying to find Ricky Shakes there, but some good defending by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The ball going into touch, and it's a throw in to Guyana. The Vincentians are now making a sub. It looks like number 12 is being called off, and number 6 will take his place. So number 12, Slater, who came on as a sub in the first game, is now being subbed in this second game. Number 6 taking his place.
Lastbird Ledger.
Yes.
Wearing the number 6 shirt. So Slater is off.
And this would have been the 7th goal of the evening scored. Lots of goal here in this encounter where the Golden Jaguars are pressing ahead, looking for the equalizer to make it 4-4. The referee's whistle called, so perhaps it would have been an offside. And it's a free kick now to the Vinci Heat side.
And Manning is warming up to come on.
Yes, Coach Jamal Shabazz throwing in all his weapons and artillery as the home team go in search of the equalizing goal and hopefully the winning goal. But as we speak, it's a free kick to St. Vincent and the Grenadines midway into the Guyana half.
So the referee's calling back the wall, and they're now in very close to the
just outside of
box,
the area.
yeah. And the shot comes off the wall there, and
A foul committed against one of the Golden Jaguars. Colin Nelson with the kick for Guyana. He looks and finds, it looks like Cox.
Shakes. And the ball now with Cox, and intercepted there by McDowell. And Manning will be replacing Jamal Smith. So there should be some sort of reorganizing in the Guyana defense there. Because Manning is a midfield player, yes, there is an instruction. I think Nurse will fall back in defense now and try to stabilize things in the defense area. But it's now Beresford sends the ball forward, and another blunder there by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines goalkeeper, but I think he was hurt, yes. He went up, but I think he was
Another player,
struck,
it
yes.
looks like. I hope that the other player wasn't trying to perform duties of the goalkeeper.
No, in fact, it was McDowell who went up and missed. But Francis went up as well, and he missed too, and the ball went free. So
All to play for here for Guyana now.
That's right. And Barrington sends over to Manning, who gets his first touch. And it's Welchman now, strongly tackled. And it's Baltimore coming forward to take the throw quickly to Barrington. And he sends over now to Manning. Manning, not the best of passes, and Guyana will take possession once again. It's Cox with it there, working very, very hard in this match here, Frankie. And it's St. Vincent winning once again as the ball comes down there, and the player running free. And Manning trying to get back
2 against 4
behind
now.
it, 2 against 4. The man evades him and is free on the box. But we now see Golden Jaguar defense now regrouping. And I believe
Flag
the
was
play
up.
was in an offside position.
So as I said earlier, Troy, it's all to play for. The Guyanese have nothing to lose, but they have to play as if they, this is the final moments of their lives they're trying to save.
Yeah, well, this is it. It's do or die, as we say, as Nurse now playing defense, central defender. And the Vincentian team coming forward there. A strong tackle there from Manning. He's very good on the ground. And back to a St. Vincent player once again. So they are coming forward here in droves as the rain comes down. Maybe, I hope it's not crying for Guyana here, but we need to get back a goal as Beresford takes possession now, and Guyana comes away, sends the ball forward there, but a bad pass. You had Welchman there, and St. Vincent will come away. The players are slipping on the turf here. It's a little damp, and the ball runs all the way there. Clark almost took it over the line. But he will now take possession, sends over to Cox as the rain comes down harder, and some of the spectators trying to get cover there. But the ball is coming forward there, and a little blunder there from Welchman, who tries to take a shot. Guyana still in possession, and shakes it, looks like, who's trying to get around his man, sends the ball over, and it goes to the goalkeeper, who covers and holds it for a very long time.
Near life.
Yes, trying to work down the clock, so to speak. And his kick now comes forward. And Nurse, who was having problems in midfield, should be showing much more confident now in defense.
Yeah, well, he's seeing it from behind, and he will be able to dictate and marshal his forces. But even as the ball went into touch, and it's going to be a throw-in for St. Vincent, they're making another substitution shortly. Number 19, it looks like, will be coming in to replace one of his countrymen, Keith James. The ball slipping through, but good keeping there by Akel Clark, thwarting that effort there by St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Golden Jaguars, Baltimore in possession moving forward for the home team. He looks and tries to find, Welchman is there in the area, and it's goal!
Dans once again.
Neil Dans, Guyana 4, St. Vincent and the Grenadines 4. So we have a match on here on our hands, Troy.
Looks like my prediction is working. I did say 5-5, and it looked like we were heading in that direction. So
What a match.
what a match. As I said, these teams are even Steven, and the substitution number 10 coming off for St. Vincent, that's Anderson, and he will be replaced by Keith James. And he's taking his time, knowing the importance now with the clock winding down.
And they're ahead virtually
And they're ahead.
on the away goal rule.
And there's a little pushing there in front of the Welchman, it looks like. Some talking took place there. And Welchman went over to the player who's coming off.
Say, remember you're in the Golden Jaguars backyard.
Yeah, 19. So the man, Keith James, going on.
Well, the time is against Guyana, and they will have to go for victory. They will have to go for victory.
So the referee will start play. And an enjoyable match. I think it could have gone a little more in the Guyana favor had they done what they had to do in defense. But they have been coming back. It shows that they have the striking force to get goals. And it's Walter Moore coming forward, being urged on by the crowd. And the referee going forward there trying to ease the situation because both teams are hyped up now. And Francis kicks the ball forward. And Manning taking possession. Beresford sends the ball now to shakes back to Cox. And Guyana will build up in their own half. The rain eases up a bit as the play comes forward. So we're seeing some blunders from the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team now.
But I prefer to see Guyana passing the ball around and moving it upfield rather than these long kicks because the Vincentian team is taller than the Guyanese,
Yes.
and they're winning the balls in the air. I would prefer to see us building up gradually upfield.
So the ball coming forward there. And
Giving up possession easily there again.
so more. The captain takes possession, Nurse, who sends to Manning. Manning sends the ball forward. And we keep pushing that ball forward all the time and wasting our midfielders. So the ball is just passing to and fro, pass the midfield. So they're not getting much into the game. Unless there is a breakdown in possession, then they come into the field of play. We need to see a little more midfield attack. The keeper comes off his line and kicks the ball forward. And it's now running free. It's Dan's there, sends the ball back. And Barrington moves forward down the left side, squares inside. And the keeper coming off his line there. So anxious moments there for the St. Vincent and the Grenadines team. And the crowd is once again behind the Golden Jaguars. So the ball running down, and one there by Cornelius Short, goes out of play, and St. Vincent will take, in fact, it signal, yes, St. Vincent coming forward to take the throw-in, but they will take their precious time to get to the ball now. They know
naturally they're working the clock down because they're ahead. No need to show any urgency. It is now up to Guyana to make things work. Even as we see the fourth official,
setting the clock.
Setting the clock. So in a few moments we'll know how much time remains in this encounter. 4-4 at the moment.
3 minutes of time added on. So just 3 minutes for Guyana to get a goal, or their chances of advancing could be slim. And play down, so number 7 there, Cornelius Short.
Yes, and he's the Finland-based player, so all the experience that he has is coming.
Yes, he's being urged on now by the assistant referee to play on. But they're playing a short play, and ball now coming forward, and Guyana now on the attack. It's Barrington, sends the ball forward, gets around his man. So Barrington going and getting a yellow card there, trying to confront the referee. Maybe try to
I think it's a foolish a yellow card, by the way, because the referee has to allow some amount of latitude. The adrenaline is flowing from the players, and they will question some decisions once it's not disrespectful.
And it's also putting some time, taking some time off the clock that is critical to Guyana's cause.
Yeah.
So,
The player is down.
yeah. And some of
Again,
them,
winding the time down. They're ahead, so they don't have to worry about anything.
but what a match it has been. It was really an enjoyable match. A goal feast, we should say, a goal feast here at the Guyana National Stadium at Providence.
8 goals in this game so far, and still about just over 2 minutes or less remaining in an enthralling encounter. At the end of the day, you know, whichever team goes ahead, it would have been a hard-fought 2 matches. Number 9 out for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and number 13 in.
So, Myron Samuels, he's out. The ball comes out now, and it's now running free. And Beresford tries to keep it in play, and the whistle going. He's now urging the players to try to come up a little bit more, but at least Beresford should get in there. The referee will be issuing a yellow card for time wasting on number 19 for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So Walter Moore will take the throw. Sends back to his captain Nurse. Nurse over to Nelson. And Nelson sends the ball forward now, just minutes, I should say, just a few minutes now. And this could be an opportunity here. The ball is now with Cox, who sends inside. And it's now Barrington, who didn't take cleanly, sends back inside, intercepted Walter Moore with it, takes a shot. And it goes straight to the keeper, who couldn't hold on to it properly because of the conditions here with the rain. But he grasps the ball in his second attempt and sends it out now. This might very well be the last run of play here as the clock winds down and the captain coming forward, Hamlet, as St. Vincent looking to get one more, possibly to seal the deal, so to speak.
Well, they don't need to get anything to seal the deal. Final whistle will come shortly, and it would end in their favor. You know, they're ahead on the away goal rule, and that's all that is needed for them to go through. Guyana it is that would have to win the game now.
That's right. So Cox on the ground, the hard-working Cox, being given a helping hand by the referee. Referees, I think some of the players are cramping up because of the current conditions. The weather, you see, he's actually limping coming down. And the keeper it is who will come forward to take the free kick. As Cox runs forward now, maybe the final kick of the match, and he comes in there, and Clark still out,
That's
and
the
that's
end
it.
of the game.
That's it. So St. Vincent and Guyana playing to a 4-all draw. What an exciting match it was! But in the end, the team that advanced, that is what is critical here this evening, and the crowd really kept on their feet for the final stages of this match, Frankie.
Definitely, you know, the Vincentians came here and said they came, you know, for business. The game was an exciting game, end-to-end action. Lots of goals were scored. But at the end of the day, the Vinci Heat prevailing over the Golden Jaguars by the away goal rule, 4-4. They would have scored 4 goals. Guyana, I think, you know, we made some tactical errors in defense and in midfield. But at the end of the day, the game was the winner. An exciting match between the two sides. The crowd, of course, would naturally be disappointed. But I think in going forward, there are many positives coming out of this.
But what can separate these two teams? A very tough question.
Very tough question.
Because when we look at the results of all the matches played between these two countries, even today, we've had 2 drawn games in the matches, 2 all scored in one match, 4 all scored in the second match, and then we've had one team winning two times, the other team winning 2 times. So we now have 3 draws.
Yeah.
Right? And the
But, you
Vincent,
know, the Vincentians capitalizing the opportunities they created, we erred and we were not tight in defense as we should have been. And they came out winners. Congratulations to St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
yes, and they're now celebrating and chanting. So, on behalf of Frankie Wilson, what an exciting match it was. I am Troy Peters. Thanks for listening to us as we wind down in this World Cup qualifier between Guyana and St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Well, all right. First of all, good night. I just want to congratulate my team, the players. They work hard, and I think we deserve to going on to the second round. The team fight. Unfortunately, Guyana, you have to stay behind. But all in all, I just want to congratulate my team. The players in them work hard. The game plan was, I know and believe in the players in them that we're going to beat Guyana in Guyana. Even though the game job, we still deserve, we win also. In St. Vincent, too many opportunities we throw away, and that caused us to draw the game home. We're supposed to win the game convincingly back home.
Did you expect so many goals being scored in this game?
Yeah, we work a lot and finishing. We think that was one of the problem, was lacking in St. Vincent. As we say that you get one opportunity, you have to count that. When you're playing against top team like Guyana, one opportunity, you have to score that. Take that one opportunity.
Okay, what does qualifying for the third round mean for St. Vincent?
This is a glorious opportunity for the younger players could market themselves on the bigger stage, going on the bigger stage also.
Captain, your thoughts on advancing to the next stage?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the Almighty. Without Him, none of this would have been possible. And the people who rallied behind us. I mean, going forward, I think it's a good opportunity for us because over the years, we got this far and got knocked out. So for me, this is a good achievement for us going on to the next round. So as the coach said, we can market our younger players and God will and we dominate, play as well as we did here in the next round.
Okay, Coach, you only had 3 overseas-based players in the lineup. Going forward, do you envisage calling on more foreign-based players?
Yeah, we're going to need the help. We're going to need the help going forward. We have to send out in the diaspora guys who is interested to come and try out. As we know, sometimes you bring in the foreign players. They need time. They need time to adjust to the climate. So they're going to need a lot of bit of time to adjust to the climate also.
Well, it didn't go in just the team favor, it didn't go in the country favor. I thought we didn't do well in defense at all. I thought we had a glass jaw in defense, and while we always had to keep coming from behind, the little inspiration that we got in getting back into the game, I thought our defending left a lot to be desired. If we give up this many goals in international football, it's always going to be very, very difficult to win. But valiant effort. I thought the guys fought to the end, and while going down each time, I want to give them credit for picking themselves up and fighting for the bitter end. Well, I think the technicians, we are in the training sessions, all the training sessions. We know what we're trying to get out of the team, and it's a decision we've got to make. Always it's easy to second guess it after the fact, but the team the fans pick don't ever lose, but nobody considers that they don't ever win either. You know, so it's easy to second guess who should have played and who should not have played, but I don't think that had anything to do with the result. I thought that the result for anybody who knows football was clear. We didn't defend as well as we should, and we paid the price for it. I think that is the critical issue. You know, and you know, I don't want to be hypothetical and naive. I think it's clear. If the team score more goals than you, you win. They win. We didn't lose the match, but we lose the wrong by this result.
In the initial starting 11 match breaks, his name was in the mix. What were the reasons for him not being a part of it?
He complained of something in his stomach for the entire night, and coming into it, we felt that he would not be, you know, as fit enough, and in discussion with him, we felt it's better to give the chance to somebody who had more energy and a better feeling to play. It's always difficult situations, but each player knows themselves and knows what is best at the time.
Captain Nurse, tough result for you. Your thoughts on the performance of your child?
I think you saw the players played their hearts out. We scored 4 goals at home, and you know, we lost the game on a few individual errors, but that happens in football. You know, we win as a team and we lose as a team, so we'll get around the guys, pick each other up, and you know, tomorrow's another day.
What's next for your national team?
I think this is critical because we didn't lose the game. We lost the opportunity, and this is a good lesson for us because, you know, it's good sometimes that the whole nation have this feeling, and for this 90 minutes, we saw everybody with this one feeling, okay? This is an aspect of it that only sports can do, and we've now got to continue to build the program, okay? For sure, we're not going to the World Cup, but for sure, we have a program to build, and if you know me, I am not weak in heart. Okay, we have a lot of youngsters on the pitch there. We have FIFA dates coming up, and I think it's necessary for us to play on all those FIFA dates, not let, you know, the football do what it did for 2.5 years, stay dormant. Football is to be played, okay? And now we've got to build a product again and get the, when you're down, is the time you need the support, you know, and the football with this draw where we have exited from the World Cup need now for us to continue to play on the FIFA dates, friendly matches against top opponents, and continue to give exposure to young players. It's very, very difficult situation that you don't achieve your objective, but Rome wasn't built in a day. And the blows that don't break our back will certainly strengthen it.
Coach, do you think, what is the plan moving forward? We know there are errors, you did some errors earlier. You could pinpoint them for us, and how you intend to deal with them?
Well, I think, you know, most important, you know, we wanna be able as a federation to get proper facilities, a home, you know, more than, before we can talk technical errors, I think we've got to get a home where the national team could train comfortably, okay, where we'll have a full pitch to train on, okay, and, you know, build the program like that. We have the Elite League coming, where the players based in Guyana will be able to compete against each other, and it's the only way forward. We can't say, oh, we got to work on passing, we got to work on shooting, we got to work on